Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you all. On this Sunday, looks be all right out. It's a little gloomy. Ain't too sunny today, but I wanted to chime in. I've been extremely busy, but y'all know I'm always getting to the money, so let's carry on. Um, Man, it touched my spirit. I hadn't did a show uh in a little minute since me and my homie shout out to P. We got on here, we were cutting up talking about, and it's so crazy how this plays now for the future. Um we were on here cutting up talking about, I think I said to her she was a different kind of black. You know what I mean? It was we were we were joking because of the history that we have, but it's so irrelevant to what I want to talk about and different backgrounds and platforms that people do have and just don't use correctly. Mr. Nichols, I know everybody's talking about it. It's all over the news, it's all over social media. For those who haven't saw the video, you saw the video. No reason. And this weight is so heavy on my heart. I had talked to my big cousin in New York, and we was fellowshipping and talking in the spirit, and she's very spiritual in the nature. And she said, "Don't give it the energy. Don't, it." She said a lot on a different frequency, and I said, "I just gotta speak on it because it's bothering me. It bothered me so bad, like it bothered me with the last episode of The Wire. And if you were a Wire person, the show, um, I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. Another chapter, but no reason for somebody to be beat like that by that many people. Officer, no officer. I believe just because they were officers of color, a lot of things that are being put out on social media is that, where is the black people now? Why are we not marching now? Oh, it's because they were black, blah, blah, blah. Um, I'm against that in the nature. What happened to that young man and everything that transpired, I do believe those officers need to be held to the full extent of the law. And I mean the full extent of the law. Nobody deserves to be beat like that at all. Um, that's just a hurtful, very hurtful, touchy topic. I spoke my piece on it. Now moving forward, I just want to know, why is it such a sickness in our community that we are not elevating like we should as a community? It's so much hate in this community, and I'm not speaking for nobody other, no other races or background. I'm just witnessing in my community. There's so much hate. There's so much. If a person elevates or they make something so successful of themselves, hey baby, what's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, if they make something of themselves and they change their life, they went from being a dope boy to, I don't know, hell, politics, who cares? If they elevated, they elevated. But why is it such a hateful thing when a person transitions in the nature? And I'm speaking just for my community because we kill each other. And I'm not saying that other races don't, but we do it, and it's so publicized, it's so advertised out here in the world. And, you know, I just want to put a few things to the test. Like, honestly, just to set the platform and understand that, everybody human, regardless of what color you are. We all have one thing in common. If you cut yourself, I cut myself, we bleed the same, unless you're an alien, but that's a whole different frequency. Um, but it disturbs me so much that you hear comments of growing up, hearing comments, don't go to that side of the tracks and end up going to that side of the tracks. And even though it's low income and sometimes even poverty, you have some of the best times um, with people. And I don't look at low income people as it being a disgrace or it's something, you know, you should shame upon because I come from the nature. It's just coming out of it and progressing and elevating. Um, it's sad that all of these neighborhoods or environments that we live in and we come up in and they're low income, they're considered bad. And half of them, or majority of them, are black communities. I would like to question a lot of what is being done in the home, as well as if it's just all mental health, because even being from low income uh, places, people have thrived and become so much. I'm just trying to figure out where are we losing it as a people that now you got people, you have to go to the old Ice Cube verse, black cop showing out for the white cop. Even if that's the case, but just now we killing each other from all angles, and it's been going on for way too long, and it's like, is it really worth it? We come from so much as a people. We get over here. Back in the day, black people would ride with each other in their cars, just learning the history of the true Black Panther movement before it got poisoned. Um, Learning the history of black people in America is so disturbing to see this. And it's disturbing when I get on social media and I got RIPs going down my timeline. That shit is disturbing. Why are we having so many RIPs? I mean, the shit is just not even fun. It's what the fuck? Are we that bored? Or, I mean, you not knowing how to get to the money? I mean, what the hell? It's so confusing to me. I understand hatred in the world and everybody ain't gonna be flowers and they ain't gonna be all orky dokie all the time. Grant that. If somebody wronged you and somebody did something hard for you and you believe eye for eye, that's your business. But as a community, the whole community is not bad. You know, I know beautiful black couples that are in a profession and have houses and they come from nothing. They started from the bottom. I know beautiful people um, that started from the bottom, as they say, get it out the mud. You know what I mean? But humanity, man, we got to take this into um, hindsight. We got to take this into consideration that we as a people as a whole are looking bad, and you can do your part individually, and it's okay. You can do your part, and that's if you out doing the service. You gotta make your bread, but kindness, mental health, all that shit goes a long way. Um, and the background on mental health, not understanding what a person has gone through, and sometimes it reaches the public. Sometimes it reaches to the point to where a person, it's so much easier for a person to cry on the shoulders of a stranger. Um, that enlightenment is something critical. I believe that if we support more small businesses that are come up in the community and control the dollar in the community, we can start somewhere peacefully. I'm a big supporter of understanding those that want to start something but don't know how to kind of pin it and push it together, um, and need just a little guidance. Like, I'm with it. I'm with it 100%. It's time that we actually take back the platform of our dollar and being able to invest in our community. A lot of people don't like talking about this because a lot of people don't want to go that walks of life. But then when you look up, and you got war in your front door, and you can't even trust your own community, you best believe the other communities gonna come together. Black people are the only community that has problems coming together. And I just say it just like that. The mental health here is out of this world. And when you comparing and you're looking at generational wealth, looking at where we come from, what we've experienced as a people, and then we still experiencing the same old routine of things, and we're not progressing mentally, we're behind. And I do mean behind because we don't know how to present ourselves. A lot of us don't know how to do it with business. A lot of us come off just because we black, you know the code. No, that ain't the case. That's not the case. Um, it's hard to turn over a new leaf. That takes practice. That takes dedication. That takes commitment. I'm in my community. I'm well known in my community. My face is well known. I know what I'm after. I know what I'm targeting. I educate anybody that came in across of me in my profession and what I do. I educate them as well as I can receive education too. I'm not too humble not to learn anything, but anything that comes across, is fundamental that we stick together and help each other learn in the processes of becoming wealthy in your own right, whatever that is to you. You might just want your little humble abode. Um, Everybody's different. I feel like I'm rich in so many different levels. Spiritually, mentally, I have my mental health. A lot of people don't have mental health. A lot of people secretly go crazy in their house every day, and that shit ain't no game. And then it just comes out, and you have mass shootings, and you have hatreds, and officers beating motherfuckers for no reason, constantly with the law. In a minute, we're gonna be under martial law. In a minute, because local state law is not looking promising. And it's not saying every officer is racist or every officer is a dick. No, I've had my run-ins with cool, humble spirits. They doing their job. They there to get their check and make it safely back home to their families. But now I feel like when you see things and you saw them so many times, it becomes subliminal in the nature. And that subliminal comes realistic to you, like, oh, this is just the norm. It's like, yeah, this happens every day. That shit is sad. And if we keep showing the universe that we don't care about each other, what you think the universe gonna do? I don't understand why these platforms that people have, they don't speak on it. I don't. I was on social media and I ran across, excuse me, Plies, and he was just on a whole different frequency. I love Plies, by the way. He's cool. Um, he was on a whole total different frequency, and he was like, people wondering why the man was moving and wouldn't be still. Because when you getting hit and you getting the hell beat out of you, that shit hurt. It hurts. I don't care what nobody say. It hurts. If you never been jumped or never got into a real street fight, it hurts. So it's a lot of anguish with that. Like people say the darndest stuff before they even think or come across the thought. And we need to start minding the background of mental health. When I go in these homes and I inspect these homes, and you see a person on the outside and they look well put together. I mean, suited, booted, well put together. Um, just to step in their home and it's a disaster. It's you could feel the sickness in the home. You could feel the mental health in the home. And thank God for the Most High God for the spirit that I have, and I feel protected in a lot of different ways. Um, I talk to them. I first thank them for letting me in their home, and we talk about things and issues. And then I say, if you ever need to talk, I am a email, phone call away. Um, just because you never know what a person is battling in their own personal life, but on the outside they look like butter, you know, jelly, toast, crisp. But when you get in their personal space, it's really bad. And I think a lot what's happening in my community, a lot of stuff is just blatantly the old school saying, never tell what goes on in the family. You don't tell family. All that shit is coming out. It's just busting out, and it's in rage, it's in anger. Person might have been gay, and a lot of us in the black community, not all of us, a lot of us are homophobic and don't know how to deal with situations. They don't know how to deal with transitioning in phases of life, and you're shunned upon in the church, in the community, and everything else. A lot of judgmental is placed in the black community, a lot of competition as well. I think we need to just kind of all just take a step back and not put so much emphasis on um, materialistic things, but more spirituality in the nature. When we had a Black Wall Street, if y'all don't know the history and the journey of the Black Wall Street, please do your research on it. It was such a beautiful thing, and a lot of things have been poisoned by the system. I have to choose my words carefully around this, but a lot of things have been poisoned by the system. And if you're on that frequency, you know what I'm talking about. The Black Panther movement was definitely poisoned by the system, and I definitely read this. I don't know. It was a comment someone made about the new Black Panther movie, and I believe it was one of the children of the actual Black Panther. I can't think of his name. Forgive me, but I saw it online, and he said something that made totally sense. It's like I didn't really get it at first. I'm like, it's just a movie. People can decipher the truth on their own. But then when I read it further, it's he was basically saying they're trying to erase our history. And like I said, I really didn't understand. It didn't register to me until it registered. And he said, these fictional characters, great actors, wasn't putting down the actors or anything like that, but just the fictional version of what the true Black Panther movement was. He was like, how many, you know, of us, the youth included, are seeing this, but not knowing where the real life of it came from. And you have to ponder. You have to wonder, like, do people really know about the movement? Or is it just being overlooked? Or is the history being erased? I tuned in on a young lady, I believe it was on TikTok, and she says it's just me, but the frequency she was on, I think it was John Gooden, the dude from Roseanne. She was like, he was dead, he died, and I'm thinking to myself, I remember that. And then it was like, is it John Candy? That he died. No, that was a powder overdose. I remember that. So the world is shifting, y'all, in so many different ways, and everybody's not meant to I guess, growing that knowledge. But I think if we take a step back and each one of us can do something on a daily to better this sad universe that we living in, I'll be the first to do it. Um, the police, the politics, the mental health, people out here looking for places to stay and don't income qualify, making three times the rent, or they're trading and that's not really considered a income because it's stock might go up or go down. Just how we looking on paper and how we looking in hindsight is really a mess in my personal opinion. And I'm with the shits. I would love to team up with any small business, um, any entrepreneur to set out a new path for the youth and the generation to make us better and look better and be proud as a people to be putting out positive energy in our community because I think a lot of that they really got us fucked up. It's a misunderstanding. I don't think a lot of people know it's a real true misunderstanding. The lingo is the same, but it's different. If you check out a lot of my old shows on here before I started going live, I was just vocal. And we met, and I had a nice little following. And the things that we would talk about mental health wise, it was a lot of those shows with mental health. It was a lot of that meeting people in the stream and understanding what they're going through and how they're coming out of it and getting through it. And me being a support system and letting them know it can be done and it's happening for them. They're doing a lot better now. So I think more than anything, just being a positive spirit, not carrying hate. I mean, if you hurt someone, you broke somebody heart for whatever reasons, and y'all don't like each other no more, that day, that feeling, that hurt will pass with time. We have to start dealing with stuff from our childhood wounds. A lot of us as adults, uh, it's funny, you see the TikToks and they say Generation X, they're the badass generation, and then, the millennials are like, blah, 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 and then whatever generation is after that is like, oh, blah, blah. Well, it's a reason for that. You know, each generation is built different. And now that it's becoming out of control, and the nature's been out of control, but I just think it's just sad. I think the more we open our minds, we should be able to politic on real life things. And a lot of those secrets that were embedded in the black community, they need to come out. However you choose to do it, you don't have to do it publicly, but spiritually and in nature, you need to deal with those emotional issues and let them go. A lot of people are still grieving over things that they cannot control, or they should have been an astronaut by now. A lot of things that we go through on a mental note, we shun them away when they really hurt. Um, I think it's time for the teachings to come back, and we need to put this in a cycle of teaching, whether it's your kid or not, or a person, a grown person or adult, anybody that's willing to soak up the knowledge. We need to instill in them those teachings that you could be different and you don't have to be that way. You could be different. You don't have to join a gang. I mean, you could actually live past 25. You could actually make it to 30. You could actually beat the odds that were set for you, to be against you. So I think it's time for being, a giving nature so we could all process things and live peacefully in this universe together because, we are a part of it. It's a circle of life. If you don't have certain animals in the universe won't function at all. So imagine the route we're going on with the brutality and the mentality that we're carrying. And Black women, I do say this with love, but we have to stop following the trends of stupidity. If you have men, young men that are coming up now that they just don't fucking know. They don't know. And women do mature a bit quicker than men. And you do have to put them on the game. And that's okay. Putting them on the game, that's okay. But understand the chessboard when you set it up. And for those who play chess, know what I'm saying. Understand the chessboard before you set it up. And, you know, I just don't really care for the gold digging and if you ain't got this bag, that bag, you can't. Okay, where's your bag? Do you have your own bag first? I'm just saying, do you have your own bag first? Because if you got your own bag, the universe is going to send you someone that recognizes that you bringing in your own bag, you got your own money, you got your own this, you got your own that, and you're doing it in a positive way, and you're doing it in a respectable way, and you get into the money, but you're not being out here on that attitude as you got to be of a certain caliber. Man, miss me with that shit. Miss me with it. Everybody not gonna drive the best cars. Everybody not gonna have the best of the best of the best. But what they got and they worked hard for is to be appreciated. And I think a lot of us young Black queens need to change that mindset. If you get into your money, get to your money. And then when somebody comes to the table, they gotta match that frequency. That's how you G it up. They have to match that frequency. If they ain't matching that frequency, then you put them on game and let them know you got to. And this is my expectations. Nothing wrong with having expectations, but in a righteous way, I believe. Not just slap out saying just because I'm pretty, you gotta take care of me. That shit is lame to me. Um, it's just I don't like that energy. I don't like that attitude. Like, yeah, you fly, you bad, yeah, all that. Bad bitch, all that. But don't be a gold digger. Don't use somebody for their bread, just to appease your own self, whatever that may be. Get your own bread. You appreciate it more. Um, that's pretty much it for Sunday, y'all. I talked about the entrepreneur, the mental health, us being a better people. How do we stop being so ugly towards one another? Like, straight facts, I'm in my feelings with that. And I'm a Scorpio, so y'all already know. But we gotta stop. Like, I understand if somebody wrongs you and you want to fall back from that person. Like, I truly understand that. Like, family included. But you can love people from a distance. One thing for certain, two things for sure. Don't let nobody dim your light. Don't let nobody come in and try to say you need to be this way or because you ain't running how this is running that you less than. Never do that. Never do that. Always follow your gut and what it is that you're trying to do. Um, and I'm here, like I said, I'm here for it. Like, if you're on some positive and you want to learn about business and you want to learn how to get on properties and what you need and uh, stuff of that nature, like, let's talk about it. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put together a fundraiser that's legit and it's going to give back to the community, let's do that too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important to build these relationships because I don't know if we scared. I don't know if we shy. I don't know what if it. I don't know. It's weird in the Black community sometimes. But we need to be able to talk to each other and understand that if you got little ones and youngins running around in the same community, you want to uplift them too, and you want them to see positive instead of walking out their door every day seeing somebody leaning because they on heroin or they chasing a rock. Um, Even though they may see that, you could still put a positive twist on life. Unfortunately, we just have to rebuild it and understand that we can keep it tight and we can have bonds that are business. If you are a beautiful woman or a handsome male, you can still have business connections and not have nothing in between. You just gotta come with the right spirit. You gotta come with the right energy. So I'm not gonna hold you. I just wanted to jump on here, y'all. Like I did a stream earlier, and it was such a beautiful platform. So much love. The community coming in. A young man came in. I think he had dogs are us. It's a grooming pet salon, I believe, in North Carolina. Another young man came in that wanted to start a traveling detail service. Like we gotta elevate each other, y'all, and push each other to succeed in them goals. And a lot of people just don't know. And a conversation will go a long way. Um, so definitely comment, like, share, and I will catch y'all on the flip. Like, please, please, please stay blessed. Peace and blessings to all of you. Happy Sunday. Have a great rest of your week. Progress in anything that you can progress. But I like to put something to the test too. Help somebody, y'all. And I'm not talking about financially, but if somebody call or a complete stranger just need to vent, just listen. That goes a long way. That could save a lot of lives just by helping and being an ear. So I love y'all. Stay tuned for the next episodes. Like I said, I'm doing time management. Of course, for all you guys who have rocked with me for a little minute, um, time management is big on my watch because of my profession and what I do. And I definitely am going to start taking more time to dedicate to my show, to revamping the show, to getting co hosts on here. I did commit last year of going live and doing videos because I was just vocal, like I said. So I'm proud of that step. But um, y'all just stay blessed and start the new year off on the page that you wanted to start it off on initially, and write the progress. I got a Bible. This is my journal. Write the progress. Keep track of the progress to see if you're elevating, so you can recognize and see the change. But I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed.